this should be a storyline that everybody should be talking about. Jacob deGrom. I need to talk to you guys about what Jacob deGrom is doing. Jacob deGrom is having the best season to this point a pitcher has had ever. It's absolutely insane what he's doing. He went out the other day, through 6 innings, struck out 10 guys, lowering his ERA. That was a .67 to now a 0.56. His ERA in June is 0.56. It is incredible. Through 61 2/3 innings, he's eclipsed the 100 strikeout mark, which is the first time a pitcher has done that since 1893. Guys, this is special. This is really, really special, what we're watching when Jacob deGrom takes the mound. And I wanted to bring in nobody's better to talk to him about Jacob deGrom than a guy that calls his games every night. Play-by-play guy for the New York Mets, Wayne Randazzo. Wayne, thank you so much for joining me, man. I really appreciate it.
Hey, Ben, you got it. Happy to be on.
So let's talk deGrom. What is it like getting to call his games on a night in and night out basis? What we are seeing is unprecedented, and you're right there at the field every time he takes the mound, getting to watch him.
I mean, it's incredible. It's really a privilege, first of all, to be able to do this and to be able to watch Jacob deGrom every fifth day. And, I've been with the Mets since 2015, so I've seen most of his career except for the Rookie of the Year season in 2014. So I've seen a lot of it, and Jacob just continues to get better and better every time he goes out there. And his teammates describe him as a guy who just wants to embarrass his opponent every time he goes out there. And that seems like that's what he's been doing for most of his starts this year. And you forgot one of the craziest stats of all of them. He's the first pitcher since RBIs and earned run average started being recorded to have more RBIs than earned runs allowed in his first 10 starts in a season. So he's really a special player. He's probably the best player the Mets have overall. He has great speed. He can swing the bat. And, of course, the pitching. He really is a legitimate MVP candidate right now. The Mets have never had an MVP in a season.
Well, that would be just fitting for their first MVP to come from a starting pitcher. And as to this point, nobody is more deserving than Jacob deGrom. And I was actually going to get to the hitting side of things because I'm obsessed with Shohei Ohtani. And what he's doing out on the West Coast is obviously impressive and should be talked about. Now, Jacob deGrom is no Shohei Ohtani with the bat, but he's getting to the point where it's like we need to talk about this guy's hitting. Like, he's hitting great. Like you said, he has more runs batted in this year than runs given up. That is absolutely insane. The guy actually has a pretty good swing, right?
He does. He's batting .400 this year. So, Ohtani obviously could do it day in and day out and have great power and all that. But Jacob deGrom, especially in those RBI situations, it seems like he's almost one of the guys you want up there in those spots. He feeds off the crowd, and when there is a clutch moment, like there was the other night, he had runners on second and third in a close game. He pops a base hit to left center. He scores 2 runs. The place is up for grabs, and that's while he's shutting out a great Padre team for the second time in a week, giving up 1 hit in 6 innings and striking out 10. He was near perfect in that game on Friday on both sides of the ball. It's just you run out of things to really describe Jacob deGrom with. What he's really doing is unmatched in the history of the game. You think about Tom Seaver and Bob Gibson and Pedro Martinez and all the great pitchers in the history of baseball. Well, what Jacob deGrom has done through the first 10 starts, none of those guys have done. So when you think about this season for deGrom and seeing it through to the end, baseball deserves to see how this finishes. And I hope that Jacob can stay healthy for the entire year, make 30 starts or whatever the case needs to be, to say that this could be one of the greatest seasons ever pitched in baseball history. Bob Gibson had a 1.12 ERA in 1968. deGrom's got half of that right now through 10 starts.
It's insane. And you said it best. You've been there since almost the beginning of deGrom being in the big leagues. What is it about him? What has it's progressed every year. He seems to get better and better and better. Age is not a factor for this guy. It's almost like the older he gets, and it's not almost like it is, the older he gets, the better he's pitching. What is happening in his career that he's able to do this?
I think it helped that he was late to the stage as far as a pitcher goes. He didn't pitch even all that much in college. He didn't pitch in high school. So there wasn't a lot of mileage on his arm. He had Tommy John surgery early on in his pro career when he was still in the minor leagues. So, by and large, it's a pretty fresh arm for 33. A lot of guys get to that age and they're almost cooked at that point because they've been pitching their whole lives. And by that age, they just don't have as much as they used to. deGrom has been able to get better because of the fact that he really didn't pitch much as a young player. And now he's been able to log his innings and do so at a professional level where he's not getting abused like a lot of pitchers do on their way to the big leagues. So that's one thing that helps. Another thing is he really cares about conditioning his body, about his delivery and what that is supposed to look like. He is very in tune with how he's supposed to feel, not only physically, but how he's supposed to feel while he's pitching. And if he gets out of that, he knows how to quickly correct it. And another thing that he's good at doing is being able to correct things on the fly during a game and make adjustments. If there is a pitch that feels off, he can go to something else. One thing he has is an elite curveball. Jeremy Hefner, the Mets pitching coach, says he doesn't even need to use it because his fastball, slider, and changeup do the job. He's thrown 2 curveballs all year, but the pitching coach says if he used it, it would be elite. That's the kind of pitcher Jacob deGrom is. He's got a 4th weapon in his pocket that he doesn't even go to.
That's incredible. Wayne, one thing I can say for certainty is I am very jealous of you being able to be in the ballpark every single night when he takes the mound. I really appreciate you joining me, man. I have to have you back on anytime we talk about the Mets. So he said it best. He really did. He's getting better with age. It's absolutely incredible to watch, and the whole country is rooting for him, like Wayne said, to just stay healthy. That's all we want. I want it. The whole baseball world should want it because what Jacob deGrom is doing is special. Thanks for watching. If you love flipping bats, swinging 3-0, or just talking ball, join us. Call us at 213-537-9339 with your questions. We have a weekly guest, and we have a lot of fun, so hit that subscribe button.